Have you ever had that strange, unsettling feeling that something was wrong, but you just couldn't put your finger on it? As if your decisions weren't entirely yours, as if an invisible hand was subtly guiding you? Picture this. You've just agreed to work overtime again, even though you're exhausted. You've lent money to someone who never pays you back. You've apologized for something that wasn't your fault. Sound familiar? If this resonates with you, and I know it does, then what I'm about to share could change everything. The uncomfortable truth is this: you are being influenced every single day in ways you don't recognize. It's not just by strangers or advertisers. It's by people close to you, by colleagues, by those who've learned to read the invisible patterns of human behavior. And the most unsettling part? You don't even realize it's happening. You don't need hypnosis or movie-style mind control. The most effective influence is the kind that makes you believe you chose it, that the decision was entirely yours, or that you're somehow responsible for their problems. Most people live like this, unconsciously responding to emotional cues, like pieces on a chessboard they didn't even know they were playing on. Niccolò Machiavelli, one of history's most brilliant observers of human nature, understood this dance of influence deeply. He knew that those who master it don't need to demand or threaten. They simply observe, understand your patterns, and act accordingly. They know what drives you better than you do, and if you don't understand yourself, you will be driven by others. Let me show you how this works in real life. Sarah gets a text from her friend. "I guess I'll just stay home tonight since no one wants to hang out with me." Notice what just happened? No direct request was made, but Sarah immediately feels guilty and responsible for her friend's loneliness. That's emotional manipulation disguised as vulnerability. Manipulation often begins before a single word is spoken. It starts with reading your body language, noting the tone of your voice, observing the pauses between your sentences. Master manipulators exploit three fundamental human drives. Charm. They make you feel uniquely seen and understood, creating an emotional debt you feel compelled to repay. Guilt. They position themselves as victims of your actions or inactions, making you responsible for their emotional state. Fear. They paint scenarios where terrible things happen if you don't comply, making you doubt your judgment. Here's what's fascinating. These tactics work because they target something Machiavelli called your emotional wounds. That gap within you that craves approval, fears rejection, or carries unresolved guilt. Maybe it's your need to be liked, your fear of conflict, or your childhood conditioning to always be the good person. Before I show you exactly how to build immunity against this, let me ask you something. How many times this week have you found yourself doing something you didn't really want to do, just to avoid disappointing someone? If that number is higher than 0, you need to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. This channel is dedicated to giving you the psychological tools that schools never taught you. The real-world strategies for protecting your mental freedom. Trust me, what comes next will completely change how you see every interaction in your life. So how do you build genuine emotional immunity? How do you stop being an easy target while still maintaining your humanity? It requires what I call strategic self-awareness. And here's your blueprint. First, map your vulnerability points. Stop right now and think, what makes you cave in? Is it the fear of seeming mean? The anxiety of being rejected? The exhaustion of dealing with someone's drama? Write these down. You can't defend what you can't see. Second, master strategic detachment. This doesn't mean becoming cold. It means creating space between stimulus and response. When someone tries to rush your decision or makes you feel guilty, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, am I responding to their actual request or to the emotion they're trying to create in me? Third, become strategically unpredictable. Manipulators rely on your patterns. Break them. Say no calmly when they expect emotional justification. Stay silent when they expect you to defend yourself. Leave when they expect you to argue. This forces them to drop the mask and show their true intentions. Fourth, build unshakable self-knowledge. The more clearly you know who you are and what you value, the less you need others to validate your worth. When your internal compass is strong, external attempts to redirect you lose their power. Fifth, weaponize strategic silence. Silence isn't emptiness, it's profound presence that forces others to confront themselves. When someone is trying to manipulate you emotionally, your silence breaks their script. They have to fill that space, and that's when they reveal what they're really after. Sixth, set boundaries like your life depends on it, because it does. Practice saying no without explanation. "I can't do that" is a complete sentence. Your time, energy, and peace of mind are not community property. Seventh, embrace strategic scarcity. When you stop being emotionally available to everyone at all times, something magical happens. Your value increases. People take you more seriously when they can't assume you'll always be there to manage their emotions. For relationships where manipulation hides behind love and care, family, close friends, romantic partners, these principles become even more crucial. Remember, proximity doesn't justify emotional violation. Real love doesn't require you to sacrifice your mental well-being to prove your devotion. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is step back and let someone face the consequences of their own emotional patterns, instead of constantly rescuing them. Here's what this transformation looks like in practice. You become the person who doesn't bend to emotional blackmail, who sees through performative victimhood, who walks with quiet confidence even when everyone around you is spinning in emotional chaos. The truth is this: your freedom begins the moment you stop calling free will what is actually learned helplessness. It starts when you realize that being nice all the time isn't virtue. It's often just fear wearing a socially acceptable mask. This isn't about becoming manipulative yourself or losing your empathy. It's about becoming strategically conscious, someone who chooses their responses rather than being unconsciously reactive. Listen, if you've made it this far, you're already different from 95% of people who live their entire lives unconsciously responding to other people's emotional programming. But knowing this information isn't enough. You need to implement it. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the advanced strategies I'll be sharing. Second, go to the comments and tell me about one situation where you recognized you were being manipulated. Don't name names, just describe the pattern. This isn't just engagement, it's practice in recognizing these dynamics. Third, and this is the most important part, choose one person in your life where you consistently give away your power and practice one of these strategies this week. Start small. Maybe it's not immediately responding to guilt-inducing texts or saying, "Let me think about it," instead of automatic yes. Your future self, the one who walks through life with unshakable inner authority, is waiting for you to make this choice. The question is, will you keep playing by other people's rules, or will you finally learn to play your own game? The power is in your hands. Use it wisely.